This was my first game in MyTeam, and isn't this a familiar sight? Meeting a superstar team right out of the gate. Thankfully I bought a silver pack using the pre-order bonus VC before this game, to get Devin Harris on the point as well as Amir Johnson as my power forward. First we'll take a look at the settings I use and explain to you a bit about why it is I'm using these particular ones. Due to the difficulty on my team, which seems to be on Pro for at least for the first few seeds, putting deny ball on pretty much every shooter is recommended. Otherwise you'll end giving up too many 3-point shots. I like to sag off on non-shooters to get the help I need. This also helps on double teams, as when you call for one, the game logic will bring you the players you have sagging off to double. If you don't want to set these up yourself, while on a defensive possession, you can press left on the D-pad and then select pressure shooters, which will put every outside shooter on deny ball, which will still help you out a lot. The coaching profile I have is along the same lines. Designed to stop 3-point shooters and yet allow for a lot of help defense in case a defender gets beat on the ball. Fast break I would strongly recommend you put to 0, as it will increase your chances of rebounding the ball, yet as you'll see, fast breaks will still be just as effective. Now you might have seen my opponent put deny ball on all of my starters. Contrary to popular belief, this is not a good strategy. You can easily exploit anyone doing this to your advantage during the course of the game. When you put deny ball on people, it essentially means that the players will stay on their men at all times and not rotate over to help on penetration. If you execute a pick and roll well, in most cases the opponent should have a third man rotate in order to cover both the ball handler and the roll man. Otherwise, either the big man or the ball handler will get an open lane or an open shot. Unless of course they switch, in which case you'll have a small defender guarding your big man in the paint and vice versa on the perimeter, which you can take advantage of. The pro difficulty means that it's mostly going to be easy to score, steal and make long distance passes. For these reasons, as well as to defeat zones, I would encourage you to have a swingman on your team, meaning a player who has the shooting touch of a small forward but still decent size and rebounding ability to play at power forward. You don't have to start this way, but it's good to have the option on your bench. The pro difficulty means even guys like Travis Outlaw can shoot a 3-point shot with a lot of success if they're open, even though Outlaw's 3-point shot rating is only 70. What you do want to look out for when choosing your shooters is the consistency attribute. In this game I have Austin Day as my starting small forward, and as you'll see during the course of the game, he'll have trouble scoring from open spots. Even though he seems to have good shooting ratings, his 25 consistency makes him a bad choice on offense. Now if your opponent is playing zone or trying to steal the ball as you're inbounding it, you might want to put your swingman in as power forward. When pressing left on the D-pad on offense, you will see the option to have 4 outside and 1 in. By choosing this setting, you will have 4 capable shooters on the outside ready to shoot if they're open. Zone defense will leave one of these men open on every possession. And if the opponent is trying to steal the ball from inbounds, you'll have a man advantage on the fast break, which means you'll either get right to the basket or one of your men will be open. I kept trusting Day to sink these open shots, but they just don't seem to be going in. Luckily the opponent is trying to get the last shot of the half and makes a bad pass, which gives me a 6-point edge going into the half, as this shot just barely counts. Another A+ miss from Day, but I get put back. Day's bad defensive awareness means he doesn't hedge to help on penetration. Jerry West gets a bucket and one. Too much turbo will leave you vulnerable to steals, as my opponent seems to be learning. Fast break works well even if the slider is at 0. Day still can't make a shot. The opponent seems to be sending me some constructive criticism. Took control of the player a moment too late, as the AI really bites on the pump fake. As if Malone would take that shot. Come on, Day! Backing off on a drive is an option, as I find outlaw for the open shot. Another easy bucket I get from a sideline inbounds play. I covered these in a previous video. Click on the annotation if you want to check them out. Lean-in jumpers seem to be harder to make this year, and that's a change for the better. Sometimes you do give up these kinds of cheesy full court passes, but my mistake was trying to get the rebound with my shooter. If your opponent is doing this a lot, you should always try to run a full 24-second offense, and only shoot if you're wide open or at the rim. From your coach profile, you can also decrease your crash offensive rebound slider. Timeouts are another very important factor during the game. Momentum is a real factor in this game, which will affect all shots on both sides of the floor. If your opponent gets a big dunk, alley-oop, or goes for a run, it's highly recommended that you use a timeout, as it will reset the momentum. Tied to timeouts is also the stamina of your players. You might know the Gatorade sign that pops up when your player is tired, but did you know that the attributes of your players will go down significantly even before that? Specifically, if you look at the substitutions menu and you see a player have 3 bars left or less, that means that his attributes have already gone down by a big margin. You can check this for yourself by going to the substitutions menu while in the pause menu, where it will show you the update attributes. All I can say on this shot is Larry Bird. The opponent has been trying to draw a charge for the whole game, and finally he succeeds in it. Too little, too late. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments or suggestions, please leave them down below. I'll see you on the next video.